What's up, you guys? So I've been sitting in the house for too long and we just haven't been able to do anything because the weather around here has just been so brutal and brutally cold at that. Well, we finally got some of the snow to melt off, and well, it's not super cold, but it's still pretty cold. It's 4 degrees out today and it's been like -5, so we're here to truck through all of this cold and we're going to get some work done regardless. Since my car has a bad diff and it only has one wheel that spins at all times, no matter what, I can't tow any of my cars up to the shop where we can pull the engine and whatnot. So right now we've got this Z up on blocks and we're about to pull everything but the engine, including the transmission, exhaust, just everything, to get the engine ready to come out here in the middle of the yard. Hopefully we can find a way to get it to the garage or shop by the end of this video, or today at least, because I'd like to do this all in one day, but that's shooting for the stars at this point with it being so cold. So previously on this car I had pulled all the interior out for our black Z over there. We actually have pretty much a gutted silver 2+0 without a title, sadly. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna strip this thing for parts and whatnot, but right now, like I said, we're doing the drivetrain. We previously came out here, took the intake off to remove the fuel injectors so we could use them on Josh's Z and could replace those cheap eBay ones or Amazon injectors. So today we're going to get everything else unhooked. Obviously all the wiring harness and the tough stuff's already done up here, thankfully. We're just going to have to mess with the radiator, some of the belts, alternator to transmission harness, and you know, it's not going to be that bad. Now that I remember that the plenum's off and all of that stuff's out the way, I'm pretty stoked, and I think we're going to get this done today. So let this video be a testament to you guys. There's no excuses. I've wasted a couple days. Yeah, who cares if I'm cold, but at least I'd be getting stuff done. I can't get anything done just sitting in the house, and well, let's get it. So first and foremost, I think we're going to pull the fender off because we got this pinching going on. Probably bowed from improper installation, and just said screw it. So we've got a bolt up here, 2 down here. Looks, yep, we actually do have them, man. And we've got 1, 2 up here. Yeah. We got it off. Jump. Now let's just go ahead and start taking care of our engine bay here, pulling everything out and off, getting it out the way. Start with pulling our wiring harness and all of our connections off here on the front of the engine, unsecuring it from the little tabs, pull it out the way. Now we can begin our radiator. Now we could open the drain, but we're trying to do this somewhat quickly. Let's see if we can do this neatly. Dude, that coolant looks great. Ooh, so much for neatly. Just drain it out. My personal hack here is when you take the top hose off, hold the bottom hose, baby, and put the top hose on it. Keep the water from coming out. Coolant, whatever. Now we're going to tuck the lower hose pretty much just in front of the fan. So when you pull up on the radiator, it'll come out. So now that the radiator's out, we went ahead and we unhooked our heater core pipes up here, and literally all there is left is our transmission wiring over here. We're going to wait to do that till the very end before we pull the engine out when we do the power steering pump. But yeah, that's it. We got the front and all this stuff here knocked out with the plenum already being off. That saved us a ton of time, so we're already ready to go ahead and jump underneath the car. So we did manage to come up with a little bit of a shortcut here just to get rid of you know, one of my least favorite things to do. Well, with the car up on blocks, we've now got our exhaust system ready to be pulled out. And it just so happens to be a full catalytic exhaust. The reason I couldn't separate it all here is, yeah, this one can, but welded. Sounds great though. So if you guys want kind of a cheaper exhaust, hit me up. I I think it's time for a starter. It's time for a slave cylinder, and we can begin working on our drive shaft, shifter, and just getting all that disconnected, or we're left with the transmission and transmission wiring. Sorry, it's still super brisk out here again. It's hard to keep the GoPro out without it keep dying. So hopefully we can make a decent little video for you guys today, because I've really slacked off. I've just been sell everything. And again, if you guys need any parts, hit me up below, Instagram, everywhere. So let's get under this car with this -10 wind chill. Basically going to loosen these 2 bolts to our starter, disconnect the starter signal wire, and we have to do our power wire here in the back. Then it should fall right out. The same goes for your clutch slave cylinder right here. Now your slave cylinder, drop your slave cylinder out the way. I always find it better to put your hardware back so you know where everything goes. And we got a 12 mil for our battery power wire. Now we can take our 14 mil and we can remove the top to the starter to be able to remove it. Hold it if your stud's missing down here as you loosen this up, because eventually you're going to have like 30 pounds drop on you. Maybe not 30, but easy 25. And as always, take all of your hardware and place it back. Now that we have all this access free, this is a good time to kind of reach up here on top to be able to pull down each and bend all of your little clip retainers to be able to pull your alternator transmission harness downwards. Once you do that, you can keep it down here where it's nice and simple to get to all of your connectors. Here's your square plug disconnected. You have one gray 2-wire switch or connector. And last but not least is that speed sensor connector. Now our transmission wiring is fully unhooked from the transmission. Now pretty much our next step is going to be moving on to our drive shaft. And we have a 2-piece drive shaft here. So we have 17 or 19 mil carrier bearing bolts, and then we have 14 mil bolts on the back that a ratcheting wrench is your best friend. And now we have conquered our drive shaft. So now we officially are down to the transmission. Yay! So now we're under the car. What is our first plan of attack? We're probably going to take a couple of these bell housing bolts out while we can, just because we can. But realistically, we need to take care of the shifter up here. So to remove the shifter, I like to remove these 4 bolts right here, holding this fork on, so that way I can leave the full shifter assembly in car and drop the trans out separate. So we're going to pull this 12 mil bolt right here for the shift striker rod. Once we remove that, we are fully disconnected from the shift linkage up here at the top. Maybe I need an extra extension. With our 12 mil ratcheting wrench and socket, remove the striker rod bolt. Now let's remove the bolt all the way, or I guess the nut. And we can pull the bolt. Now our bracket's disconnected. Once you pull the bolt out, this will come off. About like that. So now our shifter is fully disconnected, and now we need to work on our bell housing bolts and our transmission mounts. So we're actually going to do all the bell housing bolts that we can before we mess with these to lower it down to get the ones up top, even though it's not really necessary. So let's do all of our bell housing bolts first. Ta-da! Just like magic, we got the trans out. Everything's ready to get this car wheeled up here. We got some side skirts to move. We got my car to move. Hopefully, maybe we can pull it through this, but we still got some pretty thick snow right here, and I think my car is going to get mighty hung up. So we may just have to go do the old school method, 3 foot at a time. So from here to up there. I kid you not, that overall probably took me 3 hours to do by myself. It was an absolute nightmare, but I'm so happy that it's done. And then we got everything ready to pull out right before the rain starts. So basically I just realized we didn't do our engine mount nuts. We're just gonna break them, the original, trash them anyways, who cares. And one other thing, we haven't done our power steering, so that'll come to drain once we get the engine lifted up a little bit and get better access to both of them hoses. So for now, let's see if we can break them engine mounts. I don't know, we may have to undo them. Those things are really strong. And as the rain keeps picking up outside, we got the engine disconnected from the car. Finally! Let's get it the rest of the way done, power steering all drained and situated, and let's get the car pushed out. Now let's move on to the next kind of ender portion of this video where I kind of have a lot to say. So not only does everyone know that I have way too much stuff and I have way too many parts, well, lately we've gotten really good deals on some stuff to where we could stock up for a reasonable price to be able to get a decent return to help kind of fund our shop and get everything up and going. So basically, not only do we just pull this broken motor out, we've got two more over here. This is a good NA one with a fresh timing kit. We have this one with a blown head gasket. We have a low compression 1995 twin turbo engine. We have another twin turbo engine. We also have another NA engine. And 4 of these that I just got all have good leak down tests, so they're actually good engines. I also got 2 more 5-speeds. Here's another one. There's one. I think I got 7 more in the back. I've got 1 in pieces. I've just got stuff falling out of my ears. So, yes, as always, I do sell parts. Hit me up if you need anything. I have full 5-speed swaps available. I'm willing to travel, deliver, whatever. Obviously for a fee, I'm not doing it for free. If you want the cheapest one, it's $1,250. 5th gear kind of needs granny shifted, but all the other gears shift totally fine. Now I have a couple other combos for different price points if needed, and I also have 5 speeds. I may have an engine or 2. Just hit me up. I can't ship via freight. I'm via USPS only, so it's in the Kia or you come pick it up. Sorry, but that's just how it is. But yeah, I'm selling like everything full-fledged now. I'm trying to clear out so that way I can just, you know, free up some headroom, obviously, but I'm doing it within reasonable pricing now versus, you know, oh, I know I could get this much, so I'm gonna hold on to it for this or whatever. So feel free to hit me up for anything. I ship. Yes, I ship. People ask me all the time, do you ship? Yes, I ship. So I've got all kinds of stuff, 5-speed stuff. Hit me up. I've only got so much of it. I've only got so much turbo stuff. I don't know. Again, just hit me up and see what I got. I apologize. We're going to have to wrap the video up here early, mainly so we can get on with a couple other things. I've got like 6 other videos half recorded. I've really been holding off for the month of January, because you don't get paid well very much on YouTube for it. And I noticed that, and not really like I get paid a lot, but still I just wanted to wait, and we're going to save all of our videos for February. So I hope you guys are as excited as I am, because we got a bunch of things in the works. And well, hit me up if you need parts in the description, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe down below, and stay tuned for the next one. Until then, peace.